Alright, this is Matt here with my second review. This time it's on the Spyderco Caspian2. Very different looking knife, and I noticed when I got it I couldn't find any reviews on it. So figured I'd throw one out there and yeah, let some people know about this knife. One thing I will say is that Nut and Fancy, whose reviews are nothing short of outstanding, definitely hit those up if you are interested in knives. Did pass over this the other in one of his more recent reviews, talking about how it looked funny. It was weird for the sake of being weird, which I could see where he's getting that, but I do think that this knife has a lot going for it for its specific usage, which is going to be in a whitewater or dive knife situation. So we'll start off with the sheath. Standard plastic, it's solid. The securing mechanism is wonderful. It's not going anywhere. It is very, very tight. The one complaint I could make is that they don't have any sort of solid securing method here from the factory. I'll have to work something out for that, but to get that onto a life jacket, I'd rather have something flush than use straps. So that's the sheath, pretty basic, drainage hole and all that. So brings me to the blade. You've got H1 steel, which is amazing through this whole knife. H1 steel should technically not be able to rust. They've replaced the carbon with a different element. I believe it is nitrogen, but I'm not positive on that one. But it chemically should not be able to rust, and that's wonderful. That's exactly what you want in a dive or river knife. Second striking feature about this guy is that the tip is blunted, which is very, very important. If you drop this in a raft or something like that, it's not going to puncture the boat. It's not going to damage anything. This gives you a little bit of prying ability. The blade's a little bit thin for that, but it's the blunting on the tip is wonderful. Also, if you need to do a rescue and someone has a strap or rope around their leg or something like that, just slide that down there and turn it, cut. Don't need to worry about cutting them, anything like that. You're going to be alright. Second feature about this guy, or third, that I really like is that finger hole. That finger hole means you're not going to drop this knife. That, along with the amazing jimping on the top, it's in there. It is secure, and you could even do other things with your hand after you have this out. So you pull the knife out, cut something, whatever. You need to mess around with the strap. You've got your hands open because this knife isn't going anywhere. It's secure on there, which is nice for a $115 knife as well, because yeah, it's a nice little investment. So definitely a big plus on that. It's going to give you very good control, prevent you from dropping it, losing it, and potentially cutting yourself, someone else, damaging your equipment, which is kept to a minimum with that tip, but still, it's a risk. It's a risk with a knife like this. So yeah, the jimping on the other side caught me off guard. I wasn't sure what that was for. Then after thinking about it some, A, they really couldn't bring the blade down there because that's, cutting it a little bit close. And B, I think what they're kind of intending is for reverse grip. You've got your choil there so that you're not gonna, your thumb isn't gonna slide up onto the blade. It also makes it easier for secure lock into the sheath here, which is very important. The knife is around 5 ounces, I think. I don't have a scale to measure it with, but I can tell you it feels very similar to the Benchmade 550 Griptilian, and if you notice, it's also very similar in size. In fact, it might even be a little bit smaller with that curve in there. So it's not going to weigh you down. That's a very important part. If you have it up on your shoulder, which is where I'm going to have this on my life jacket, I don't want it, flopping around, constantly having that weight there when I'm, doing my thing. Also, the short size is perfect because you don't want something that's too long. When I'm rowing, for example, I don't want to catch my oar on it, which I've had happen with other knives that are longer, things like that. So the size is great. It fits my hand just about perfectly. I have a little bit larger hands, but yeah, very, very good as far as the grip and handle goes there. Well, let's see. I've got your partial serrations here, which are wonderful. The blade, as you can tell, is curved in slightly. I'm exaggerating that, but you can get the idea, so that when you cut a rope or something, it's going to move towards those serrations and it's going to stay locked into the blade. It's not going to slide off the front or whatever, as with the more standard design such as what the Griptilian has. The front being unserrated, I think, is also a good choice because this knife is going to be used spreading peanut butter, spreading butter, whatever I'm doing for lunches, stuff like that, I'm going to be using it there. Cutting bread, serrations are not going to perform quite so well there. Plus, I can keep my daily work on this front end here, because that's going to be really easy to sharpen. And then in emergencies, when I really need to cut something really fast, I've got these wonderfully sharp serrations. Oh, speaking of sharp, of course, Spyderco produces scalpels, so this is factory sharp. Wonderful. I have not played around with a line cutter yet. I imagine it is just as sharp as the rest of the knife, which is going to be premier. So that pretty much wraps it up. That's the Spyderco Caspian2. It is a wonderful choice for whitewater and diving. I can't imagine going with another knife. Take it easy.